Good morning and welcome to May 2nd's vlog. I hope that you are having a fantastic day wherever you are. My name is Tracy and I am the host of Knitting on the Float. This month I'm going to do a vlog series where I focus on straightening up my crafty loft space and the sitting space up there as well. So I'm going to make that space a lot more welcoming and a better place to go to actually find the crafts I need and to maybe enjoy some time up there as well doing some of that crafting. Today I have started off with something very, very exciting. I have cut a bunch of little papers. I have a pen ready. I have my lap desk and my iPad. I am going to go through the YouTube comments from last week's podcast and I'm going to write down all of the names, fold them up, and I'm going to put them in this gorgeous yarn bowl by Jules of So Sweet Violet. And we are going to have a draw for a copy of this year's Handmade Sock Society pattern collection. So we'll put that in a little bit later, but right now I'm just going to prep for it. And I'm also going to reach over and enjoy a cup of tea while I write names down. So I think for today's cheer, we should cheer to having a beautiful day. So cheer to that. Very hot. Today I'm drinking biscuit tea. Yesterday it was toast and jam, and both of those are the Yorkshire blends because, oh, they are so, so good. But yes, my lovely little flamingo mug, and this is the Pink Ladies. Every day in May, my plan is to tackle just a little bit of an area that I want to work on. And today, you're going to say, Tracy, that's not the loft. I worked on this area, but there is a method to my madness. This buffet here and the china cabinet is going to take a little bit of the overflow from the china cabinet upstairs. So in order to start moving things around, I need to clear other spaces in the house. So as I mentioned, method to my madness. So I'm going to put a few of the things on here, but before I do that, let me share some of the things that are very special to me on the buffet and on the china cabinet. I don't want to overclutter the buffet, but I do want to have some of my favorite things on here. And right now you can see I've got this blue lamp and the red lamp over there. We got those in Cape Cod. And the summer tree of life and the winter tree of life we got in England. My mother gave me this lovely little polar bear. And right here, this salsa or dip holder and chip plate are from Algonquin Park. And on the wall above that is one of my favorite collections, and this was a collection that was started for me, and also all of my cousins had a collection started for them as well by my grandmother, and my mother put it in this mirrored print tray, and there are lots of lovely Wade figurines that came out of the red rose tea When I was young, I remember my grandmother would open a box of tea and inside would be a figurine, and she'd check to see if she had it or not. Kind of like baseball cards, but with nice little figurines. And then over here we have the top of the china cabinet here. Of course, there is the date stamp right here. And Greg's favorite thing is his Wagoneer. And every once in a while, he'll press it and he'll start dancing. And then these lovely candles here. I need to start using them. They were gifted to me by my lovely sister-in-law. So we're going to put a few more things on this space as we start clearing out the loft. Last night, I decided to put the plans for what I'd like to do upstairs on graph paper. And this section here is for the craft half of the loft, and the glass cabinet that is on the other side will be moved to the corner here, and this is the glass cabinet I'm going to take things out of and put on the buffet. And the sewing desk is currently here. I'm going to move it here is my plan, because I would like to put my spinning wheel and the circular sock machine up in this space. There is a lovely 3x5 carpet. The blue dresser that has my project bags, my Swift and ball winder will stay where it is. And then the cedar chest that I showed that was covered in stuff yesterday will be moved downstairs, and I have a storage bench downstairs that will be moved upstairs. It's got a little bit of space underneath that I can put some baskets in for yarn storage, and then it's a nice spot to sit. So that will go upstairs, and that is what I hope to do for the craft area of that loft. And then the other side, the sitting area of the loft, I have mapped that out or planned it out as well. And currently my desk is where I would like to put the sewing desk and the sewing machine. And I'm going to move my desk and computer over to where the cabinet currently is. Now, I haven't decided whether I want my desk to face this way or whether I want to have it line up along with Greg's desk. And then we have this lovely bedside cabinet that my mother and I refinished. Right now it has our printer on top, and then it has knitting books and sewing patterns in the cabinet. So I'm not sure whether I want a straight line with the desks and the office spaces for both Greg and I, or whether I want to vary it a bit. I may end up even moving this table over here with the printer. We'll see. I have a 5x8 carpet upstairs, and the two big chairs that are upstairs are sitting on it. And then we have a table upstairs that has Greg's antique radios on it as well. And under that table, I have 3 bins of yarn. So that is what I'm thinking for the sitting area of the loft. So getting it all planned out on paper before starting to move things around, because of course you want to make sure that everything fits. I didn't mention that yesterday. Before I drew this up, I went upstairs, I measured everything out. So hopefully things should fit the way I want them to. Today's job is simple. As I said yesterday, we're going to do little chunks each day, little bites, and I have some of my ironing things, which I'm going to put on top of the printer right now. I'm going to need to unplug the iron, and I will put this away in the linen closet. Unfortunately, the linen closet is not set up to also accommodate the ironing board. Otherwise, it probably would have been in there. The shelves go right out to where the door closes, so there's no space to put this. So I'm going to need to figure out where to keep the ironing board so that when I need it, it's easy to access. I'm thinking it's probably going to need to stand up maybe between where the cabinet will go and the wall, and then that way it's easily accessible but also slightly hidden. Or it may go on the other side beside the blue dresser and where some of the yarn will go. As long as I can easily get it so that when I am sewing, I can iron away, that will be the main point. But for now, let's fold it up and make some space. Here we are, the ironing board is all folded up. We're going to put it out of sight, not completely out of mind, but out of sight for now. I'm going to go one further, and I have my mannequin. Right now, I'm just moving her to the very, very cluttered side of the loft, but that is how things will have to work right now. In the days ahead, we are going to deal with the contents of the cabinet and also some of the, where I said I unpacked all of the boxes, I may have unpacked them, but I maybe haven't set everything up. So these are still wrapped from the move. They are very cute lamps, and I think they're gonna look amazing in the craft space or on my desk, but this is where we will deal with in the days ahead. Let's get a little bit of nature in today, and we will watch these parents look after their 4 little goslings and listen to those gorgeous bird sounds. I'm just waiting for Nathaniel to get home from school so that we can have our little draw for the Handmade Sock Society. So in the meantime, I will share what knitting I got up to last night. And last night I worked on the project in my vintage Fairy Lights bag by Little Bobbins. And I am happy to say I finished sock 1 of my Feathering the Nest socks. Very appropriate since all these birds are outside feathering their nests and running around with cute little goslings. So this is a pattern by Danielle George, who is Little Bobbins, and I used this lovely gold. I believe it was a Nora George Yarns, and this is on trial, also by Nora George Yarns, and I decided to pop a lovely Louie and Lola yarn that I had called Christmas Wreath, and it has a bit of gold stellina in it, so there is a sparkle happening, and I've got a lovely barn toe there. So sock 1 is complete. Sock 2 is started, and now that my on trial ball of yarn is free, I can start really working on the 2022 Christmas Eve cast on. This was the 2021 Christmas Eve cast on. 2022. Hopefully by the end of this year, I will have a completed pair of socks. And now we just wait for Nathaniel to get home so we can do our draw, and we will call it a day. Nathaniel is home from school, and for those of you who haven't met Nathaniel, Nathaniel is my lovely 13-year-old who loves to play the ukulele. And today I am going to have him reach in this lovely basket that I put names in for the Handmade Sock Society pattern collection, and just draw one out. I got one. Okay, and I better put my glasses on for this. And the winner is
Marcia McFadden.
Marcia McFadden. So Marcia McFadden, I will try and figure out how to get the pattern collection to you. Congratulations, and thank you to everybody who entered the contest for the pattern collection on last week's podcast. And you're just home from school. You're going to get yourself a nice cold drink because it's warm out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and give Scout a pet. Congratulations, Marcia, and I look forward to figuring out how to get that pattern to you. For today, we're going to call it a day. Mm-hmm. What song are you going to play for the talent show for ukulele?
No idea yet.
No idea. It's all a surprise. Okay, we will see you tomorrow for day 3 of March vlogs working on the loft. Bye.
Bye.
You're fun. And just think, at the end of this month, you will be able to sit up here calmly, quietly, with a nice cup of tea, watch the fans spin, watch the river go by, and just have a nice relax.